So I'm going to go up the coast, make his way up through to Mullaloo, and then round onto Marmion, on Marmion, all the way up then to Yanchep, and then from Yanchep, something's gone on down there, hasn't it? Clots Road off. Yeah. Well, an incident of some descript. No, look, we don't need to be thinking that way, do we? So we're heading up to Yanchep. We've had a visit there before. It's a nice place, so we thought we'd have a day after New Year's Day ride up there. So this is the 2nd of January 2021. 17 minutes past 11 in the morning, and 31 degrees currently, so it's going to be quite a warm one today. Some people may actually say it's going to be a hot one. Pathetic. And Catherine and I were just where I started the video, Trig. We had a walk yesterday, not far, it was quite warm as well, and we had a walk out down that way, but it was quite breezy, and again today is quite breezy, which is good when you're on the bike. We have our mesh jackets on, and that helps with the ventilation to help us keep a little bit more of a comfortable temperature. Do you want to go ahead for a bit? And let's hope that 2021 is a much better year for everybody, and we'll leave that at that. Let's all move on. Vaccines are becoming available, so hopefully we may not have won the war, but hopefully we have won the battle. Unfortunately, some poor souls failed to win their battle. We recently decided to get some new tyres. Both sets of our tyres on the bikes were showing a little bit worse for wear, so we got some Michelin Road 5 tyres, and they're supposed to be pretty good for general road use riding. Good grip in the wet as well, so when the wet weather comes we can hopefully ride with more confidence in the wet. And I think pretty much both sets of our tyres are scrubbed in. Not at the sides as maybe some other biker people may say. We don't tend to lean too much over on our tyres. They call them chicken strips when you don't see any wear, or when you do see like a new tyre on the ends of your tyres. So no doubt we have chicken strips on our tyres. But I think we're both happy with that. So just to give you a bit of a history to our riding knowledge and skill and experience, we're very new to riding. Catherine passed her riding test in October of 2019. I just passed a few months earlier in August of 2019, so we're very much quite new to the whole riding scene. We'd purchased our bikes in January of 2019, learned to ride on them with a shadow rider, Steve. So he helped a lot by being with us, so we could go out and just gain experience riding pretty much up and down this road. We did a lot of riding up and down here. And then since passing our tests, we've expanded our horizons. So we did pass our motorcycle tests on our bikes as well, so we didn't go with our instructors. I think it was a 125 or 225 Yamaha Scorpion, so we didn't go with that bike, and we actually passed our tests on the bikes we're most familiar with, still being these two MT-07s. In Australia, the Land's approved, so they're a restricted bike. We can't ride any more than a 660cc engine. These are 655cc engines, and they have to be on a particular list. Sort of any engines that have been tweaked which set them apart from this Land's approved scheme, then those particular bikes we would not be able to ride. We can obviously, well, in this duration of a year after passing our tests, we were able to then, if we wished, to sit and pass a motorcycle open class license, and then we would obviously have open licenses to ride any bike. We've yet to do that. We're considering it because we're thinking in the future that if we go abroad anywhere and we want to hire some motorbikes, a lot of them tend to be open class motorcycles, and not many seem to do any restricted motorcycles, so that would severely restrict us in our ability to go out and ride in Europe or wherever. So we're considering getting the open class license. We're sort of in the talks of that at the moment. So if and when we do attempt the open class motorcycle riding test, we will have some refreshers or some confidence riding a bigger bike with our previous instructor, and he has an open class motorcycle as well, so we could get some experience riding his bike and then sit the test on his bike and hopefully then pass our open class license. So we'll see how we go. Yeah, Catherine was just saying that hopefully it's not much of an issue for us to be actually attempting these tests, because these bikes are Yamaha, so the layout and the general feel of that bike would be similar to, I think it's an MT-09 or an MT-10 our instructor has. So the bike should feel very familiar, just that it's a larger capacity engine, and literally just hopefully get on it and get past. That will very much benefit us. It will very much benefit us because like I mentioned, going off and hiring bikes would then not be an issue, because we could then pick and choose any type of motorcycle. If we just wanted 600s, we could pick one of them, or if we wanted something a little bit bigger, like an adventure bike maybe, we could go for one of them as well. So it would open doors for us, or avenues of the ability to ride on holiday. And hopefully in the near future, depending upon the Australia the New Zealand Prime Minister, is it Jacinda Ardern? There's talk of New Zealand opening up the border of New Zealand to Australia. Now we do have some current cases over east again, still cluster cases. That may delay things, but then again I was thinking that maybe New Zealand might open its borders up to Western Australia residents, because we've not had any community cases. As I mentioned before, if you've watched any of these videos previously throughout last year, we've obviously referenced to the old COVID, and WA has got off exceptionally lightly really, so we've done really well by not having any community disease, any community spread of it. So maybe, fingers crossed, that we may get a green light to travel to New Zealand. We have a friend who lives in the South Island of New Zealand. I think it's the north of the South Island, but it seems to be pretty much anywhere in the South Island is absolutely awesome, fantastic riding and beautiful scenery. So we would like to think in the near future, it's out of our control at the moment, that we would have a trip over to New Zealand. There was talk of Jacinda Ardern saying that they were sort of penciling in left, yes. There was talk of her suggesting that it could be March time this year that she would open up the New Zealand borders to Australia. Like I mentioned, that may have changed, or the planning may be changed, but they want tourism. They've had not a lot of people travelling there last year, so I would have thought that given an opportunity and the people wanting to go to travel, especially those from Western Australia like us, that we have an opportunity hopefully to do so. And again, if anyone's been following us on our journey, on our rides, we have gradually gone further and further afield as we've got more confident riding. So we've gone quite a way south of Perth, we've gone quite a way north, hence today we're going quite a way once we get to Yanchep. We've gone further. A little plug to the ride to the Pinnacles. That's probably our longest ride, I think, in one day especially. That was quite a marathon, so we both, I think, did well, because we were absolutely shattered once we got home. We'd had enough of being on the bike by then. So yeah, have a look at the ride to the Pinnacles. I think it's just a two-parter, 2 episodes. And we actually ride within the Pinnacles National Park. I forget what the proper name is for that, but we did actually pay to go in, and then with that people can drive their cars or ride motorcycles around and in amongst the sandy national park. So this area is approaching Iluka. I'm not sure what this particular district is, but we're not far, I believe, going in and through Iluka or Iluka. Not sure how to pronounce that one, but it's certainly on the left. You may have seen it's been quite a lot of bush and scrubland. It's left. It's been left intentionally as a reserve, which is good. And then they tend to build houses then across towards the right hand side. So we're coming into Iluka now, and on the left here there's a lovely little park we've been to before. We've done a video and we've been down that way. It's a lovely little area to have a picnic. It's one of my favourite places to come and have a walk as well, because further up that way there's a whole trail as well, a walking trail that takes you through to the next area of which is called Burns Beach. But you're going to the Great British Chippy. Yeah. So Catherine's just mentioned that on his way back down that we may go to the Great British Chippy. Whether I heard that correct or not, I'm not sure. Well, we're going up to Yanchep, aren't we? So we're going to go up to Yanchep and have a look at the coastal area there. Then we'll ride down, which is Marmion, because we're going to hit Marmion, Marmion Avenue before too long. And then yeah, we'll pick up on his way down, you see, back onto Marmion Avenue, and then go to an area called Currumbine, and that's where the Great British Chippy is. Again, we did a video going to the Chippy as well, so again, if you've been following the channel or you're quite a new viewer, then take a look in our back catalogue, as they say, and you'll see one for going to the Chippy. And apologies if my voice sounds a bit croaky or I've been coughing and spluttering a little bit. I'm still getting over a head cold I've had now for 3 3/4 weeks, let's say. We're nearly into week 4 with it. It's not the thing that you might be thinking, that it's been going around the world. It's not that for sure. Well, I'm confident it isn't. We've had no community case in WA with it, and I doubt I would be the one and only person, so highly unlikely that's the case. So I've had just this head cold and I've had this cough, and yeah, just the lurgy, as some people call it. I've just felt a little bit tired, and I mean symptoms similar to the old the bug of last year. But like I said, I'll be making national news, I think, or even global news if I had it, because WA has not had any of it, apart from people coming into the state from cruise ships, fly-ins, you know, people who were stuck abroad and then come home. So they've had it, they've got it, and then they've obviously had to be isolated and monitored. So we're passing through Burns Beach now, and then this is where we'll pick up Marmion Avenue. Nice Porsche Boxster, beautiful. I'm a bit of a Porsche fanboy. Very nice. So we turn left here onto Marmion Avenue, and then we continue up the way, quite a way. We turn left here, yes, and we'll continue quite a way then until we get up to Yanchep. So I think another half an hour of riding. But unfortunately this is pretty much the view now, so we won't be seeing too much of this. It's just a boring straight road pretty much. Nice to ride upon, but nothing to see, is it? Well, that's Quinns. We're in Quinns Rock Way now. So we're getting towards the end of the northern suburbs of Perth. Just from those traffic lights, it's one of the new suburbs, Jindy. The suburb before was Jindalee, I believe. There's Alkimos, I think, nearby. So it just starts to thin out in suburbs before we start going more into the open area of Western Australia. So when we get to Yanchep, there's also another place called Two Rocks, and then after those two old sort of areas, old towns, you're pretty much then getting into bushland and scrub and out completely off Perth. And if you kept riding that way and out of Perth, then you would eventually get to the pinnacles where we went to earlier in the last year. This area, I think, is Trinity. Yep, that big pink banner. It's most certainly windier up here, very blustery. Just passing through Alkimos Beach. It's now 33 degrees. Next suburb here, Alkimos Vista. They seem to like them calling them very similar names. This area is Shore Haven, brackets Alkimos. So hopefully from seeing this ride from roughly where we live, because we recorded from Trig by the coast, and we're about 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from Trig. So hopefully coming up the coast, it gives you a bit of an idea of how the suburbs are spaced out, what's new, what's older. I mean, pretty much now there's so much more new builds, especially on the northern suburbs, I believe. And again, it becomes more affordable, so to be further away from Perth, a very reasonable sized house is not too expensive. The downside being that if you do if you do work near Perth, then you have a fair old commute. Just looking at the clock now, we set off roughly 11 o'clock-ish. I think it would have been about 11:05, and looking at the clock now, it's 2 minutes past 12. So we're approximately 1 hour ride from our house, and our house is also approximately 10 minutes drive or ride or train commute into the city. So to have an hour's drive, or let's put it 2 hours drive or ride every single day, Monday to Friday, for a working week, it's a lot of time taken out of your family or your home life. Another new up and coming suburb. I think it's yet to be built. They're just opening land releases here. Saying on the top of that sign, which you may not be able to see, but it says future train station 600 metres, and the suburb's Alara, I believe. Jindawi, turn right at Yanchep Beach roundabout. So we're not actually too far off Yanchep now. So this just sweeps round left, love. There's also a national park around here, so you can camp as well. There's a nice cafe just on the left here. See over there, that way look nice. Have you had many dings from flies? That's 3 dings I've had on flies now on helmet. Another one showing her cheeks off. She should know better, she's not that young. So we'll just pull up in here, love. Top left here.